Well, good evening. Uh, you see, I'm just working on this painting that I started on plein air. My name is Rodney Ifill, and welcome back to my channel. Uh, this inspired me a couple of Fridays ago as a scene of, for those who live in Barbados and live in the north of the island, the old Eddie's looking up at Church Street. Here's the Church Street Cafe. Here's the old Eddie's building. You're having a view up towards the relocated Eddie's up through Church Street. So, what inspired me is the history and heritage in the buildings, the beauty of the buildings, and the fact that I live near the area. It becomes more than an objective painting or just a representation of buildings for me. It becomes a livelihood because it takes me back to the early days when my late mom, she used to shop in Speightstown with my cousin Yvonne. So there's history and memory to that, and meaning to that. And growing up, going to school in St. Peter, and coming in almost daily contact with this space, this area, is something very, 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 very meaningful. Brings back loads of memories, and the evolution of the space. The building was painted over many times. You will see the vendors, which people always add to the spectacle of the scene. They bring to life people and animals whenever you include them. They always add something special to a painting. So you see me here in the blocking phase of the painting, establishing some local colors with the roof, the red, the greens, typical of the roofing stock in the city space of Speightstown. You also see the areas where the vendors congregate, and here meaningfully is upstairs a place called Notes of Praise, where I was learning to play some guitar and drums a bit in Speightstown. So that is another memorable experience for me. And looking from the esplanade as well over to the building is a wonderful angle in terms of composition to establish such a scene, because you get a good full view of the building that you can frame it and juxtapose it in this manner. So Church Street Cafe, I used to hang out here as well with Brother Baker, and we had a good few banks beers, so to speak, there on Saturdays and whenever the occasion presented for a line, whether it be a bank holiday. So again, another memorable spot in Speightstown. And these are just some of the things that would have encouraged me to paint the scene. So I'm gonna move in towards, if you follow me on this progression with me, looking to finish the scene, looking to tidy up errors in the scene, because painting, especially objectivity, is quite a challenge. So you have your aerial perspective going on where you're trying to create atmosphere, painting the atmosphere in the painting. But then you also have your vanishing point perspective where you're some reference point into the composition that all the lines should converge at some point in time. But you have to try to get those as correct as possible. But standing outside painting in the heat and everything and the elements is not a very easy task. The lighting changes almost every 15 minutes or so. So it is indeed something that you have to keep up with, or it catches up with you. But that does not mean that it should deter you. Painting outside is very exciting. The paintings tend to be very fresh, and I've brought it home to my studio space to continue to work on it. Using also photographic references is another good thing when you go outside to paint. It's always good to take some shots of the clouds and other things that are very animated, that move quickly. Shadows, people, clouds. You freeze them in a moment of time to be able to look back and render them more appropriately, so to speak. So I just wanted to discuss this painting, and that I have started painting back again, which is a good feeling. It's always good to create. So if you follow me on this progress towards trying to complete this piece, I will, from time to time, speak about it and how I'm progressing. I just have some details to correct and put in. You see some errors in certain parts of the painting, and just nurse it on its way to a sense of completion. So I want to take this opportunity to thank you for listening in to me on my channel, and do subscribe, click on the buttons, and support a local Barbadian artist as he seeks to explore a town or city nearby, the beautiful old historic town of Speightstown. So bye for the moment. Ciao.